Hey guys, we've got an interesting one for you tonight. Some pretty crazy stuff just came out. I thought about waiting till tomorrow, but I was like, you know what? I'm awake now, aren't I? After what I just read, I think Bruce hasn't really seen it yet, so he's going to see some interesting shit on these pages. David Gingras, the unhinged attorney for Laura Owens, the woman who has been doing serial fake pregnancy cons for like a decade, he has decided to publish a court document about me that he just filed. And it's ridiculous because I'm not a party to this case. I'm not even adjacent to being a party in this case. I'm just friends with opposing counsel. That basically says, well, not even basically, it outright says, I am a key cult leader. He calls me a key cult leader. There's no allegation there. He just says she is a key cult leader. I don't fucking know. I don't know who voted me in.
If you tell me, if you give me some orders as cult leader, do I have to do them? Like,
I don't know, dude. I don't want the responsibility of that. I actually don't like talking to people that much. I know that this seems kind of contradictory to that, but
you're never going to get elected that way, Lauren.
I don't want to be elected. I just want to go to bed. But no, this guy's like freaking out. He says I'm a key cult leader. He says
I have to count the votes, to see who the cult leader is.
Oh, good lord! Tell me. I didn't sign up for this.
I'm an elections official, apparently.
Yeah, if it's a democratic process, I didn't even sign up. For the race, so I reject the thought of me being the key cult leader. What happened to Dave, man?
Can it be a cult if there's democracy? I don't know.
I don't fucking know, man. This is so bizarre. He says I'm key cult leader, right? He says I'm conspiring with Omar, okay? And he says I'm a criminal. He says I'm a criminal because in a kind of private Discord, I guess anyone can join. Bruce, you're a mod in the Discord. Does anyone have to be approved or?
No, it's not private. It's completely public.
Okay, but you have to have a link and you have to go out of your way to join it. It's not like something you just stumble across.
Well, yeah, you have to sign up.
You have to take action to join the Discord to see what people are saying there.
Sure.
Okay, so it's not private. Like you don't have to have a password or anything, but you do have to go out of your way to see these messages. You have to make an effort.
The Discord app on your phone or tablet, or you have to get the Discord program on a PC or Mac.
Yeah.
And make an account and get the link to the Dave Neal fan Discord and then and then sign up there.
Wink says you need the invite link.
Yeah, and you go to the welcome page and everything.
Right.
So it's not
Nick
like
says, I never knew I was in a cult. Oh, Nick, I would nominate you.
You can't just copy something into your browser bar and you're in.
No.
And you're partying. There's multiple steps.
Right.
But anyway, we can get into that if there's something about that.
Yeah. So he says that I am, doing crime, I guess, because my name is David Gingras on Discord, which I've openly said to everybody. That's me. I'm not actually impersonating him.
So here's the way. Here's the way the Discord software works. Discord has a bunch of servers or groups that you can join, different ones.
Right.
So, for example, I could be in the Dave Neal fan Discord. I could be in a Discord related to Dungeons and Dragons. I could be in one related to Taylor Swift fan club meetings.
You probably are in that one, dude.
Maybe.
Okay.
So when you create an account, you have an account name, and that's one thing. And then when you're in these Discords, you can create a nickname. So, for example, if I want to be Trogdor the Burninator in the Dungeons and Dragons Discord, I can do that. But then I can be Bruce the Moose in the Dave Neal Discord, because if I had the same name in both, somebody would get very confused.
Well, that's defamatory to a moose, bro.
Maybe. But
that's impersonation. You're going to be charged and put in jail.
Well, I'm just a human-shaped moose. I'm a moose in spirit. I believed I was a human-shaped moose. Anyway, I had a feeling I was a moose. But the point is, right? The point is that even if you go in there and say that you're Jimi Hendrix or David Gingras, or you could set your nickname to Dave Neal or something, we'd probably frown on that because there's already an actual Dave Neal nickname, Dave Neal. But anyway, the mods, and actually I think anybody, you just right click and you can see in the context menu what the login name is. So the nickname is kind of irrelevant. Actually, it's not even the actual software name, and people change their nicknames all the time. So
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
Buttons and Poodle with the, oh god, I forgot about that picture.
Oh, well then it's straight to Discord prison with you, Buttons.
But what if I'm impersonating Laura's dead dog? We
Yeah.
had a conversation about this a while back, and I said it was like the picture here is like a cross between a chinchilla and something else, and I can't remember what it was.
I think it's a bat.
Probably
Taxidermy.
Yeah, it looks. That's a crazy looking picture, but yeah. Anyways, before we get into this reading here, I know that a video was put out with this as well, and I will say this about that. I'm not going to watch the whole thing through. I was told what was said about me specifically, and so I listened to that part. This is a man who claims he's been fighting for our rights to free speech for 20 years, who has been trying for over a year now, or at least a year now, to silence me and take away my free speech. Okay, so he says, if Lauren continues to imply that I am on drugs, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem from the guy who's taking videos of bullets on his desk and posting it online. Doesn't comfort me a lot. Okay, that's the first problem we have. Second, that is absolutely my free speech. That is my opinion. I have never accused David Gingras of failing a drug test. I have never accused him of being arrested for drug possession or anything of the like. I will continue to exercise my constitutional right to express my opinion on his behavior. Tweeting about Omar at 3 o'clock in the morning, angry tweeting about Omar, to me indicates that there is some sort of ongoing substance abuse problem in the context of his recent second DUI. That and his behavior and the things that he's filing in court lead me to believe, personally, that there might be some kind of drug use issue here. And he can threaten to sue me or ruin my life all he likes, but I will fight and die on the hill that I have the right to say that. I have the right to think that. I have the right to express that, as long as I'm not stating any false factual information. He has never failed a drug test. He's never been arrested for drug possession or use or anything like that. But I believe, based on his behavior and my experience with people who have substance abuse issues, which is a lot, that he has a substance abuse problem. I believe
you're saying the behavior is consistent in your opinion.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to say that. And he can, if he tries to sue me for that, he's going to get hit with a big anti-slap. It's going to be bad. So
I mean, that's just an opinion. Like somebody could have the opinion, you know, like I remember we did a stream one night and, you know, I had a bad connection or whatever. And someone was like, whoa, Bruce sounds drunk or something. Cause you know, there's lag and everything. And it's like, look, I'm not drunk. I won't blow over 0.08 on a breathalyzer. It's just a bad connection. But even if I had like 2 beers, like you're still entitled to your opinion, right? Like I can't stop that person from having that opinion, right?
Correct. Yep.
So
even if he said he thinks I'm on meth, he thinks I'm on meth, and he says that I just think she's on meth. Okay. He didn't say that I am on meth, that I failed a drug test, tested positive for methamphetamine. He didn't say anything like that. I can't do anything about that, as long as he does it on his public platform and not in a court filing, right? So you can't abuse your law license to make false accusations against people, but you can express your opinions online, of which he has done to me many times, and I have done that in return. So that's fine, but when you start to use the courts and abuse your power and abuse your law license to cause reputational harm because you want to take away somebody's right to free speech by scaring them, that's a fucking problem. So I would argue that the difference between me and him, largely when you think about it, because we're both saying kind of inflammatory things about each other, is that I'm joking, first of all. Everything that I say is like not that serious. It's like I'm venting and I'm being hyperbolic and ridiculous. And most people understand that. Most people, you know, will not take my words as like, I actually think that he's a person with a brain as smooth as a porn star's butthole. Like most people are going to understand that that was not a legitimate actual thought that I had in my brain. Like, you know, like they're going to understand that was a joke, but you know, he apparently doesn't. I think
that would require a lot of lotion, but I mean, the fundamental problem is, I think the difference is he is a lawyer, or at least has been a lawyer representing clients in these different cases, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you are just doing commentary on YouTube. Right. So there's this imbalance of power, you know. Right. So when he is, you know, apparently or potentially trying to inhibit speech he doesn't like, he's doing that from this position of a dual role, right, doing PR and acting as a lawyer in a case.
Well, when an attorney
Which-
uses his law license to threaten you with lawsuits as well, that also carries a
Yeah,
different kind of.
these threats, like threatening Dave Neal with defamation, multi-million-dollar defamation cases,
Right.
saying he predicts he's going to be homeless in a year. These are threats coming from someone with a law license, and that's an imbalance of power.
Right.
I think that's the difference. Like, everybody can have their opinion, everybody can vent, but when you're in that position of power, I think you need to exercise your venting a little bit more judiciously.
Yeah. Somebody else in the comments pointed out a good good point there. Jay Bird says, and how can you be saying that about David if you were impersonating him? The screenshot he includes of what I said, which is, like as I just said, I'll own this comment. I made this comment. That was me. I said that. Okay. I said David is so stupid or something along those lines that his brain is as smooth as a porn star's butthole. And so I said that while my screen name was David Gingras. So he knows that I'm not impersonating him. He just told on himself. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's true. You're not actually pretending to
He's
be
well
him.
aware of that because he knew it was me. And the reason he knows it was me is because he knows that all you have to do is hover over the name to see that Lethal Lauren 904 is the person behind this account.
That's the actual login username, not just the nickname.
Right.
The nickname's kind of just.
It's not fucking rocket science. And obviously, if he could figure it out, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that. But all right, we'll get into what was actually said here because it is fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, the other problem with trying to sort of bully people into silence, right, is it's not the correct solution to prove your point. If you want to prove your point, you have to do it by having open dialogue and making good, logical, reasoned arguments, not by using tactics like bullying and intimidation.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Here we go, I guess. It's not like that long. It's just outrageous. So I hate to do this to you, but I left my water bottle downstairs. Will you read this for just the first page? And I swear I'll be right back.
Oh, boy.
I swear to God, Bruce, I will be right back. I will be right back.
Okay. And again, guys, this is not, apparently this is not through the court docket. This is just from the internet. This is Lauren's copy from the internet. But this is involved in the Owens v. Maricini, California DVRO case. Let's get into this newest document. Part 1, Introduction. As everyone knows, oh no, everyone, I already have problems. Like, I'm sure there's not everyone. There's probably some tiny babies somewhere that don't know. I don't know. Anyway, as everyone knows, I hate this hyperbolic language. As everyone knows, motions for sanctions are common. Are they common? It's very qualitative language. It's common. It's not very quantitative. How common are they? And they are routinely denied. Okay, routinely. I mean, again, qualitative adverbs. We're off to a terrible start, guys. This is horrible. In most cases, that's fair when lawyers doth protest too much. Oh, we're getting into some Shakespeare. I like that. That's not bad. All right. It says in most cases that's fair. Okay, it's good that he has made a judgment about whether it's fair or not. Isn't he supposed to be arguing something instead of making judgments? Oh boy, this case is very different. And the very is underlined. Oh no. Again, qualitative. To understand why, this court needs to know about something called, quote, justice for Clayton, unquote, or quote, JFC. Good. He's going to tell us what that means. It's a label because it's in quotes. Let's see what the definition of the label is. JFC is an online cult. Okay, well, first of all, if you want to claim that there's a cult, you have to show that there's an organization.
And I'm not very organized, so this is a very bad argument.
Like with an org chart or something, an organization. Like if I want to know if Lauren is a member of AAA, we can go get a subpoena and AAA will tell us, they'll search their records, tell us if Lauren is a member of AAA.
You could
it's
also
an
just
organization, AAA, or AARP. Not that you're old enough to be an AARP, Lauren, but if
I'm
you
working
were,
on it, dude.
you could be in that organization. The problem is what he's talking about. There's no organization. So he fails the first test of a cult because there's no organization. Second, he has to show that that organization is doing something, bad to its membership, like behavioral control, information control, thought control, emotional control. This is the Dr. Stephen Hassan Bite model of authoritarian control that he uses to classify which organizations in the world could be labeled cults versus which ones are not cults. For example, you might just have a standard religious organization or a business
Well,
organization or
I mean,
something, or
not to
government
brag, but
organization.
I do send memes in the Discord, so I guess I meet the standard.
For what?
I was just being a dick.
The problem is just putting memes in a Discord is
No,
not
I know
information
that's not a real
control.
thing, dude. I was just being a
Yeah.
dick.
So the problem is we're talking about court cases. So all the court filings go in the docket. So there's no information control. All the information is actually publicly available through the United States of America court system. So he's failed to demonstrate that a cult exists to a reasonable level. Okay, JFC, he claims JFC is an online cult devoted to one single purpose. One single purpose. Oh boy. We can't enjoy breakfast also as another purpose. Anyway, destroying the life of petitioner Laura Owens. What does that mean? Destroying the life. Is that like a threat of bodily harm? That's disturbing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody say they want this. Does he have any evidence of anybody saying this, that they want to do this? Because I've never seen anybody say they want to do this. By extension, the JFC cult is also obsessed. Wait, he said there was one single purpose, but now he says they're also obsessed with destroying the career of undersigned counsel. So apparently there are two purposes, but he said there was one. So he's already failing elementary school math. One does not equal two. That's part of the law of identity, non-contradiction, as well. We could throw excluded middle in there. The laws of logic, the foundations of math. We're two paragraphs in, and we've failed math. These allegations may sound paranoid. Yes, they do, sir. Okay, the first sentence in this filing I agree with, if not outright delusional. Okay, we also agree about that. Unfortunately, they are accurate and well supported. Okay, well, you have to prove that. You can't just say it. You have to show it. All right, buddy. The JFC cult operates largely on social media. Okay, what does that mean, largely? Bigly, the cult maintains a Twitter account, x.com Clayton's Justice. Okay, so if there is a Twitter account, x.com Clayton's Justice, that's run by a person, a human being, an individual sets that up. Maybe they share the password. I don't know. But I don't have the password for it. Lauren doesn't have the password for it, I assume. I don't control what goes on there. Lauren doesn't control what goes on there. We just read it. We're readers. We don't maintain anything. So I don't know what he's talking about here. So apparently when he's talking about a cult, he's not talking about me because I don't maintain a Twitter account. So that's good to know. He's not talking about me, presumably not talking about you, Lauren, based on the linguistics, which has posted nearly 6,000 times about Miss Owens in the last 2 years. Well, what if they posted 7,000 times? So what? Let's go. Ramp it up. Why not? Who cares? 7,000. The cult also maintains an Instagram account, instagram.com Justice for Clayton Official. The thing is, these could be accounts maintained by two different people, right? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Well, multiple people.
The other thing,
account.
let me tell you, there's a lot of people that follow the case that disagree with each other sometimes. And there are even some people that follow this case that don't like each other. It could even be true that the person running one of these accounts doesn't even like the person running the other account. I don't know. He's absurd, which is filled with vile, cruel, disgusting personal attacks against Miss Owens, her family, undersigned counsel, and anyone who dares to express the slightest degree of support for her. Well, I mean, if there's something on there you think is incorrect, the remedy is to explain why it's incorrect, not simply complain about it in this court filing. Like, do the actual legwork and say, look, Instagram.com, Justice for Clayton Official has this post at this URL. They said XYZ. Here's why I think that's wrong. Or here's why I think that's a bad opinion. And you might just convince me if you did that. I mean, I might agree with you. Maybe they said something rude. And I'm just like, yeah, they shouldn't have said that. That's a bit rude. I might actually agree with you, sir. If you actually do the legwork, do the actual real work of making an argument instead of just saying something, instead of showing us. Okay. That's the end of the first page.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm finishing a text. Will you read one more paragraph?
Oh, of course.
I'm so sorry, man.
This
I mean, there's
fun.
some photos to go with this one. So.
Ooh, photos. Exciting. Ooh, full color. Remember when you were a kid in school and the teacher would give you those things and the ink was like all purple and it smelled like old milk? Those were the days. Not anymore. Now we have color. The JFC cult thrives on inhumane cruelty. This is more rhetoric. I mean, it's just rhetoric. Okay, one of their favorite pleasures pleasure is attacking Miss Owens' physical appearance. Okay, yeah, which I don't think there's any utility in that myself. I think there's probably memes that do that. The sick individual operating the JFC Instagram account routinely posts images hundreds of times each week depicting Miss Owens as a hideously deformed creature, Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Well, so he's saying Gollum is a hideously deformed creature. That might be defamation against Gollum. I mean, we need some sensitivity towards poor Gollum here. I mean, the guy just held onto a ring for a couple hundred years or whatever. Calling him hideously deformed. That's rude. Anyway, then what do we got? We got to scroll down some more because now we have pictures. I think one of those is not Gollum, it's Chucky, right? Or is that the Chucky? The Chucky
Yeah,
doll?
it is. I haven't even seen the Chucky movies, and even I know that. So
I think I saw the first one, but I mean, they made a whole bunch of those. Because, back in the day when you had to get your movies on VHS or DVD and you couldn't just go to Netflix or whatever, you could actually make a lot of movies like 17 sequels to Chucky because college students, let me tell you, they get bored and they just want to watch a movie. So they will go buy the DVD or the VHS tape. This is how Kevin Smith stayed in business for so long, was, selling all his movies on DVD or VHS to drunken, stoned college kids. But I digress. Let's see. What does this have to do with the issue of sanctions? Here's what EM dash. Oh, he's going to tell us. What? He creates this question. It's like a rhetorical question. He poses the question himself. Like, that's never... I don't like that literary mechanism. Just say what you want to say. Don't make a question and answer it yourself. That's not useful. Okay, here's what. Respondents' counsel, Omar Serrato, is a prominent supporter of and participant in the JFC cult. Do you think there's somebody like one of these Instagram people that like orders Omar around and says, your cult orders for today are to
I guess it's
enjoy
me,
breakfast and make a meme?
If you go by what's written here, I guess it's me, yeah.
Oh, it's you. Do you tell Omar like, Omar, it's Tuesday. Your cult orders today are to enjoy breakfast and make a meme?
Most of what I tell Omar these days are, jokes about me fucking his dad. So no.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I don't really know what else to say.
That doesn't sound like a cult. That sounds like
disturbing. Yes, but it's like not illegal.
Real Housewives.
It's not related to this case at all. So
Real Housewives of Omar's Casita.
I'm not a housewife, bro. I'm just Bravo. A rando.
Well, we can workshop the title for Bravo. We'll see how it goes.
We'll do that later.
More than that, Mr. Serrato is also friends with and frequently collaborates with a key cult leader. What is it? Wait, are there multiple cult leaders?
Apparently I'm a key cult leader.
Wait,
Bro,
I thought,
like I stay to myself. I don't really bother people much. I go on the YouTube and I talk to one or two people, but that's about it, bro. Like I
I
don't know what
thought
the issue is here.
I thought cults have like one leader, like what's the guy,
Absolutely they
Jim
do. Absolutely
Jones
they
or
do.
David
Yeah.
Koresh, or the guy in Oregon with the Wild Country documentary with the
Yeah.
Mercedes Benzes or whatever, and the Rolexes or whatever. There was like one guy. Are there multiple leaders? How does that work? Where's the org chart? I really want to see the org chart for this organization that he calls a cult. I want to see it. I've never seen it.
Don't
Okay.
tempt him. He will.
I mean, make an org chart. I want to understand. I want to know who am I giving orders to someone, because I've been a very bad manager if I'm supposed to be giving orders to someone or taking orders, because I just do what I want. I do what I want. Let's see. More than that, Mr. Serrato is also friends with. How dare an attorney have friends? The audacity.
Yeah.
Lauren. Okay. Let's see. A key cult leader, an instigator. Oh my gosh, you're an instigator named Lauren Neidigh. Instigator. The Conor McGregor of instigators.
At least this
Lauren
bitch spelled my
Neidigh.
name right. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
This
spell
is
check got
insane.
that right. Below is a recent photo of Ms. Neidigh and Mr. Serrato appearing together at an event in Arizona. And of course, let's scroll down because
Yeah,
he
we'll
leaves
go
out.
sec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just a little bit, or do you need the top of this page?
So I wanted to just say that this is not a photo that I believe I have posted. I don't believe I have ever posted this photo. I don't believe Omar ever posted this exact photo, but if he did, his Instagram has been inactive for months. So that just means even before Laura, I believe this happened before Laura renewed, or that we knew about it, or that he took on Mike's case. So even before that, he was stalking us, because neither one of us apparently posted this anywhere, and social media for Omar is gone for months now. So he had to have gone to my friend's page, watched his video to see if we said anything about him, and then taken a screenshot.
So you're saying this is Arizona event took place before the
And look at the
DVRO
background.
renewal
We were talking about Justin and Blake.
Yeah,
we were not
that's what I
talking
was
about
gonna
David.
mention.
Right.
What
we were not
he
talking about
leaves
that.
out is this isn't even an event where people are talking about the Owens v. Eckerd paternity case, which Omar is perfectly allowed, at the time, to talk about the Owens v. Eckerd case. He was not a litigant in that case. He was just a commentator. So even if you had gone to Arizona and talked about the Owens v. Eckerd paternity case at the time, it would have been fine. The fact is, you weren't even talking about that case. You were talking about...
I don't think David came up in conversation. If he did, it was like a passing thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we were really talking about him at all.
Sure. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of overlap, I think, in the audiences for who's following these cases, but
a little bit, not much.
The Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case is orders of magnitude a bigger case.
Absolutely.
Than this
no, David. The thing is, like, when I read this, I freaked out for about 5 minutes, and I remembered, David Gingras doesn't have a tenth of the resources of a Blake Lively who's married to fucking Deadpool. I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be hard. It might be stressful. But if he chooses to delay his move out of the United States to sue me for calling him smooth as a porn star's butthole, good luck with that, man.
So much lotion.
Good luck. All right. Anyways, if the name Lauren Neidigh sounds familiar, it should. On July 11th, 2025, 2 days after this case was filed, Miss Neidigh filed a media request to broadcast this entire case. Anybody has the right to file a media request. I filmed Laura's last case. You know that. You were there, David. So you know that. You don't have to be affiliated with an official news source because Laura's case with Clayton, a lead of The Bachelor, was much larger than this little family court case, and I was the one who got the rights to that. You know that it doesn't matter if I'm not an ABC News or some shit like that. He knows that, and he's lying. So I don't care. This court denied the request the same day it was made. Miss Neidigh is not associated with any legitimate media outlet. She is simply a YouTuber like Mr. Serrato. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be associated with a legitimate, in your eyes, which who knows what that means.
Yeah, what is the scientific test to determine if someone is a legitimate media outlet or not? Is it just a matter of opinion? Is it a matter of are you affiliated with ABC or CBS or NBC, like these old 3 over-the-air networks or something? Like, because there are, media podcasts these days that go on podcasts or YouTubes that are bigger than any of those traditional media outlets.
Right.
So who's to say what's legitimate? Is Joe Rogan illegitimate then?
Right.
Whoever, any large,
And I'm more
Theo
inclined
Vaughn,
to I'm more inclined to
whoever.
listen to a centrist independent journalist who has like no necessarily political side. My favorite podcast, my favorite people to listen to, they have like a lot of emphasis on statistics and like facts and what's actually going on here, and they are neither side of the aisle, so they're not affiliated with like a CNN or a Fox News or anything like that. That doesn't mean that they're not doing a good job as journalists. It actually, in my opinion, it means they're being more objective. They're not, beholden to anyone to have a certain agenda, and they just get to do and say what they want, so they do a better job of being objective. So that's how I feel about journalists in general not being affiliated with a big media outlet. Like, fuck off. That doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So just doesn't. If Lauren is a leader, I think we should all get her haircut, man. I'm growing my hair out. That's why it looks so weird right now. I'm gonna try to have real girl hair again, but it's gonna take a while.
I didn't get the orders on the approved cult leader haircut.
No, guys, we're trying to grow our hair out, so everybody needs to do that.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so Laura wrote in her filing, which was in my opinion, it sounded like it was ghost written by David, in her one of her filings early on in this case with Mike, that I had made a media request. It was rejected by the court, and then I retaliated by trying to fundraise for Mike. I have always, and there's a long track record of this, been on the side of Mike, Clayton, and Greg.
Sure.
Always. I have tried to fundraise for them in the past. I really believe that they are the victims in this case. That is my right. I have a right to fundraise for people if I feel like they're a victim of a terrible abuse or a crime, and I want them to succeed in their case, and I want them to be able to move on with their lives without having to deal with her anymore. Like, I'm allowed to do that. But they like using this media request as if it's some sort of attack, and then I'm retaliating against the court for not letting me have it. Like, here's what I thought when I saw the request was denied. I was like, oh, weird. They didn't give me a reason why they denied it, but I guess they probably just don't allow filming for these types of cases because it's a sensitive family court matter.
Restraining orders.
Go through the court, and there's lots of other people there for DV cases and stuff like that. I think this is just a really sensitive issue, and I'm going to be okay just going to watch.
That's fair. Also, you can't get causation from correlation. Okay. So if you did 2 things, you can't just say, well, because you did A and B, that you did B because of A, right? If you know correlation, Lauren did A and Lauren did B. You can't say that she did B because of A. You have to actually prove causation separately. You can't just speculate about causation. So it falls apart on that, logically. Anyway, you're
there's
muted.
A lot falling apart here. Lauren, can you amend your complaint? I believe I can, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to wait until after their hearing to see if he does any other crazy shit. Because I don't know if he can between now and then.
That's Friday, right?
It's Friday the 10th. Yeah. Steve is going to go, and then Steve is going to join us shortly afterwards to fill us in on what happened there. So
very good.
Yeah. Okay. The friendship between Miss Neidigh and Mr. Serrato is not the reason why sanctions are appropriate. I think it is, though, dude. I think you're seeping with jealousy. Rather, sanctions are appropriate because Mr. Serrato filed a groundless pleading, his motion to disqualify, which contained false and disparaging statements about the undersigned made solely to harass. But there's more.
That's a claim.
It's like a random accusation. There's no evidence to back that up at all whatsoever.
You have to convince people that that's true, and you can't do that by just saying it.
My criticisms
doesn't make it true.
Yeah, my criticisms of David's filings also predate my relationship with Omar. I could prove that easily. Like, you're going down, dude. Like, do not fucking bother wasting your time with this shit, because I will make a mockery out of you if you do.
Yeah. Also, the idea that the motion to disqualify is a groundless pleading is a point of contention, right? He's writing it here as if it's a fact. It's a point that can be argued, but it hasn't been ruled on. Yeah. So when he writes it this way, as if it's a conclusion, it's not a legal conclusion because it hasn't been ruled on. Some judge hasn't said, well, Mr. Serrato, your motion to disqualify was groundless, so we're dismissing it. If a judge had done that, he could say this, but he's saying it sort of, he's jumping the metaphorical pew, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. Rather, sanctions are appropriate because he filed a groundless pleading, blah, 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 false and disparaging statements. Okay, but there's more. At the time the motion was filed, Mr. Serrato knew it served no legitimate purpose. Mr. Serrato knew the attorney-client relationship with Ms. Owens was voluntarily terminated, even though not at that time. No, he didn't. That was a while before. The one that the screenshot that he includes in this filing, that happened long before this. So let's see.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you have a phone call or something, and you say, "Hey, Omar, I'm thinking I'm not going to do this case. I'm not going to be on this case. I'm not going to be on this case in the future." Yeah. That's just a verbal conversation. What you really need here is some sort of formal declaration.
Yeah. Well, here's the kicker.
In order to ensure that somebody doesn't change their mind in the future.
Here's the kicker, Bruce. Even today, he himself admits in his YouTube video that he just published, he reached out to Omar to talk about this, to yesterday or today. I mean, it must have been within the last week. I'm not sure if it was actually yesterday or today, but only watching his video, he reached out to discuss this with him.
Okay.
As an attorney. From his video, dude. From his video.
As an attorney?
Yes. He reached out to involve himself back in this as a lawyer.
Yeah, and so we
know again, that from David's own video.
There's nothing, if you just sort of have a gentleman's agreement, or you say, well, this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I'm planning on doing, you can always change your mind. And so unless you have a formal agreement, you can say, look, you signed an agreement and filed it with the court that said you wouldn't be on this case.
He didn't do that, though.
Then I think it's valid to file this motion to disqualify, because how else are you going to have a guarantee?
Well, he didn't do that, right? And then so Omar did the motion to disqualify. And then David does this thing where he wants sanctions against Omar because I'm somehow conspiring with him. And also at the same time now, David is calling Omar as a lawyer involved in this case.
Oh, boy.
Discussing the case per his YouTube video. So what do you think that's going to say to the judge about his motion to disqualify, and David saying, I wasn't going to get back involved? You just did, and you just published it on the internet and YouTube. What do you think you're doing?
I mean, I would recommend he file a motion to appear. Or what do they call it?
The motion to appear, though, the motion to appear.
Notice of appearance.
His whole motion for sanctions and his whole opposition to disqualification, that he apparently said he was not going to represent Laura in this matter. And then what does he do? He publishes a YouTube video saying he decided to represent Laura in this matter, even while this is going on, and called Omar and talked about this shit.
So when he complains about Omar making YouTube videos about the Owens v. Eckert case that Omar is not even a litigant in.
Right.
Then he goes and makes a video about a case, Owens v. Maricini, that he might be a litigant in. It's very double standardy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But Mr. Serrato and Miss Neidigh need collateral disputes. Why? Because collateral disputes provide content for Miss Neidigh's YouTube videos, and every new video means more money. Baby girl, let me tell you, this shit does not make any money. If I wanted to just make money, I would sit here and I would bag on Blake Lively all day. Yeah. You know what happened when Blake Lively tried to stop my free speech? I scared the shit out of her. Because it was a PR nightmare. She ran away, and I'm fine. So if you want to challenge me, let's go. I'm fine. I can do this by myself. I'm not worried about it.
And, that's the thing that Dave always said when he was making YouTube videos covering the news in the Owens v. Eckert case. When there's news, you make a video. If there's no news, you make some other video. So it's not that you need drama in the case. If there is drama in the
People
case,
who
you
don't.
talk about it. It's whatever it is.
Well, the thing
But
is, there's so many other things for me to talk about,
yeah,
man.
if there's
It
no
really is.
if there's no new filing in the Owens v. Eckert case, if there's no new filing in the Owens v. Maricini case, then Lauren just makes a video about the Blake Lively case, or about Real Housewives, or about Love is Blind, or about Love Loves, or about whatever. And especially if you're talking about the Blake Lively case or some of these reality TV shows, your audience will actually be bigger and you'll make even more money, in my opinion. But I mean,
I'm not scared of this shit, man. Like, I don't care about the money. I don't, because
yeah,
everything that we do related to this case that I cover from now until trial is going to go to Mike's fund anyways. So, like, I'm not trying to make money here.
yeah.
How often do you hear me ask people for money?
The other thing to bring up money is kind of insane, because you don't hear people going around saying, oh, well, why are these firemen going and putting out this fire? They must just want to get paid, or so. Like, they just want to get paid overtime. Like, it's nonsensical. People do a job, hopefully, that they enjoy doing, or they do hobbies that they enjoy doing. And when they receive pay to live their lives, or if they receive pay from a hobby to supplement their income, there's nothing wrong with that in any walk of life. But as soon as you go on the internet and talk about YouTube, especially when you're talking about someone who's saying something you don't like, suddenly being paid becomes very important. I wonder why that is. It's not because of the pay itself. It's because of the context and the motivations behind the person complaining about it. It says more about them than it does about you.
Michelle says Lauren is spending more money than she's making on Pacer. And sometimes that's true. Not all the time, because it's only billed quarterly. So it's like every 3 months. But the months that I have to pay Pacer, I barely make any money at all. And I don't give a shit. I regret nothing. I still do my day job every day. I make enough income to pay my bills. And that's that. So, I mean, I don't know. Most people have probably noticed I haven't been traveling much in a while where I was before. It's like I have to buckle in. I have to kind of work overtime in my day job to make more money so that I can do that again. But, for the most part, YouTube at this point is just covering like my Pacer fees and my taxes and shit like that. It's not like I'm out here making thousands of dollars every night. Like, that's crazy, dude. That's
it's not
crazy.
Like you're buying and selling boats every day.
No, we might make like $30 on the stream. I'm not going to freak out about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm here because I want to talk about this and it's important to me. But we're not going to make much money on these streams, and I don't care. I don't care. That's not the most important thing to me. It's not money. It's being able to do and say what I want without anyone being able to tell me what to do or what not to do. And unfortunately, there are attorneys out here like David Gingras who will masquerade as free speech enthusiasts while trying to take that right away from you, or trying to bankrupt you into obeying. And I will not settle for that. It's not going to happen. So, God. Michelle Heron says, hi, first to a live chat. Been following Lauren since 450 subscribers. Laura showed in body cam that her scheme was no longer working. Gingras seems to be doing the same. I agree. And thank you, Michelle, for popping out. I appreciate it. And for hanging out for, God, I don't know how long you've been around now, but thanks for listening. So.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So, that is exactly what occurred. Miss Neidigh has released hours of videos talking about this case and gloating about how Mr. Serrato roasted and embarrassed the undersigned in his pleadings, including his motion to disqualify. So, David, have I ever spent hours talking about your filings? Answer honestly. The answer is yes. So sure. I've spent, and the thing is, there were like 4 or 5 of us on that stream. So most of the time I was just shooting my the shit with my friends. I was just having a good time talking about something we have a mutual interest in. So it's not like I sat there the entire time and was like, David's on drugs, David's on drugs. No, dude. Like, we were sitting there critiquing the documents. We were talking about what was actually filed. We were talking about how the court case is going to go from that point on, and how we got here, the scam that brought us here, and the 10 years of fraud that brought us here. Like, there was a lot going on. And I also, everybody knows, have the ADHD pretty bad. So we talked about a lot of random shit, like how I fell over in the 5th grade. I remember that stream exactly. I told the story of how I broke my foot, and then I broke my other foot running away from a spider. And so, like,
at the same time?
Yeah, it's not like I just sit there talking about David all the time.
Wait, you had 2 broken feet at the same time?
Yeah, dude. I think that was right before you came on.
Oh,
I broke one of my feet in the 5th grade jumping on the bed, and then I broke another foot running away from a spider on my crutches, and so I was in a wheelchair for a while.
oh no.
Wait. Okay, he's complaining about you, but he's saying that Rachel Juarez is taking bong hits. I mean, come on. Where is he saying that she's taking bong hits?
What?
You need to tell me.
Citation needed.
Yeah.
Redondo, don't
Not
just
literally.
tease
Please.
us like
Not
that.
literally. I did not mean that. I would never do violent acts against anyone, but I would yell at him a lot if he were saying that about her.
What? It's
Lazy Ale, thank you for the $2. Hi, Lauren. I'm also a Lauren. Jingy is unhinged. Well, thank you, other Lauren. I appreciate that.
it's from the bong. He said. He said.
Yeah. On
He
his
said
video.
Rachel
Oh,
Juarez is ripping bong hits. What?
wait, what?
Is this
Where
true,
did he get
Buttons?
that from?
What is happening?
Even if she was, I would just think that was cool. She lives in California where it's totally legal.
Oh,
So
jeez.
go fuck yourself. Wait, why would he say that? Oh god.
I don't know.
Okay. That's terrible. I saw Rachel Juarez on an Inside Edition video the other day. Yeah, she's pretty cool, man. I love her. But
I've seen Rachel Juarez in a lot of places, and I've never.
I don't know. I
she's
saw her.
never-
I saw her on
She's
YouTube.
never
once.
given the impression of being stoned.
no, dude. No, that's bizarre.
Anyway,
What the fuck? Anyways, I don't want to talk too much about her because I don't want her to end up in one of David's blogs. So, but she's a professional. She would never appear stoned in a professional context. I don't know her habits outside of work, but I can tell you this: she would never, like, in her capacity as an attorney, show up after hitting a bong. Like, that's not gonna happen. So, I don't know, man. Who gives a shit? Honestly.
I hear she's like a pro card player, and you got to be pretty sharp to do that. I don't think you're gonna.
Yeah, Megan said she was a baller.
You got to
I don't
keep
know.
your wits
I
about
don't play
you.
cards, so my opinions on that are pretty irrelevant. I
Yeah.
I don't know shit. Okay. Let's see. Right. Got that. Exactly what occurred. Miss Neidigh has released hours of video talking about this case and gloating about how Mr. Serrato roasted and embarrassed the undersigned. You got roasted and embarrassed, bro. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Including his motion to disqualify. In these videos, Miss Neidigh repeats every false and defamatory statement contained in Mr. Serrato's pleadings while soliciting money for her efforts. So here's something I learned from Blake's case as well. You cannot, you cannot sue a journalist or retaliate against a journalist for repeating and commenting on what is in a court filing, a legitimate court filing. So good luck with that, bud.
Yeah, if you think there's something false in a court filing, and hold up on that paragraph that we were just on. If you think there's something false in it, you have to prove it in a response document or something, and then maybe it will get proven through the process that the judge will rule on something and prove that it was false. Okay, you can't just claim it's false. Number one, you have to prove it's false. And even if it is false, like if Omar writes 1 + 1 = 3 in his file, and we read it and we don't disagree. I mean, we would disagree if he did that, because we found typos he's had, and we're like, here's a typo, right? So we're not just blindly accepting everything Omar writes. If he makes a typo, I think in one of his first filings, he had an adverb I didn't like or something. I pointed that out. Like, it's not just blind, but that's the thing you have to do with that. The second thing is defamatory. I mean, that's a high legal bar. You have to have another ruling, to prove defamation. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just speculating that it could be potentially defamatory. I don't know. The language he's using here is just, again, he's speculating, but he's writing it as if it's a statement of fact. And that's the problem I have. He's not couched enough in the language of, scientific skepticism that I would like to see.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at this paragraph. But this little 2 sentences here is one of the funniest things to me. In addition to disparaging Miss Owens and the undersigned, Miss Neidigh has posted videos praising Mr. Serrato for his valiant battle against Miss Owens in this case. So I posted a video where I was talking about what a great guy Omar is and what a good attorney he is and just what a good person he is. He's one of my best friends. That is not a shocker, okay? I stand by that. I've done nothing wrong by basically he's like talking. She's been so negative about me and Laura and whatever. And now he's mad that I'm positive about Omar. I'm positive about the man who helped me when I had no one else to help me, who, made me feel safe when I don't, Bruce, you also, have the same effect. I mean, you're one of my, good friends, I think. And, I don't have a lot of close guy friends because it's a hard time to be a woman in this world. And I've had my experiences in the past, which were very traumatic and tricky. But I sing his praises because he's a good man who kind of helped me feel comfortable around male friends and felt like I could be myself and not really worry about anything. And I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not going to deny that happened. I definitely absolutely spoke his praises for doing this, for taking this case on, and for helping people who have been emotionally abused, who have unfortunately fallen victim to somebody abusing the court system against them. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to deny it. I did that. Yes. I sat there and I spoke all the positive words in the world to tell you guys how much I loved my friend. And I will never be sorry about that. Ever. And the thing about David is he doesn't have anyone like that in his life. Not anyone who's mentally competent anyways. So it is what it is. Yeah. I don't really know why you would put that in this document, because if this were ever to appear in front of a judge or a jury with this complaint, and I showed them exactly what I said about Omar Serrato, he would be utterly embarrassed. Why would you put that in here? That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what the point is. I mean, it doesn't go to any kind of legal argument.
Yeah.
Here, this is just. I don't know if he's trying to make some sort of character argument, but the fact that, there's people that think that Gingras' filings are low quality and Omar's filings are high quality, or Omar is, sufficiently steeled to take on the Owens v. Maricini case, regardless of who the lawyer is, you would think that's going to be a tough case. Right, because dealing with Miss Owens in the past has always been pretty tough in these prior cases. But after having done Family Law After Dark with Omar numerous times, I can tell you that he's the kind of person who can, he can take some shit and keep on trucking in the courtroom. Right. So there we are. If he wants to point this out, I mean, it doesn't make his case. It sort of makes the opposite case.
It does. And I think that's true because the difference between David and I is I know when to lock it in. I know when to be serious, and I know when to say what I really feel. And so when I talk about my male friends and I say, I, as someone in the past who has suffered through rape and abuse and that kind of thing from somebody who was a male who was close to me and was supposed to protect me and was supposed to guide me through an important phase of my life. When I say like my male friends have kind of restored faith in that for me, and for this man whose client is clearly lying to come out here and say like I did something bad by doing that, that's humiliating for him, not for me. I'm not embarrassed of that. I'm not ashamed of that. But that's a bad look for him. And I think, David, maybe you want to cut this one loose because you're going to get destroyed.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime you try and sort of divide people, it's just not a good strategy, right?
Sure.
The way to make your arguments is to make good arguments, not to try and divide people or pit people against each other or separate them. That's just not, I don't know, not legally, but it's not an ethical, colloquially, it's not an ethical approach, in my opinion.
No, not at all. All right, let's keep kicking, I guess. Let's see. In his opposition, Mr. Serrato never denies collaborating with Miss Neidigh he did, to attack Miss Owens and to further JFC cult goals. He absolutely did. I remember he said, I have no control over what other YouTube people do. So you're full of shit.
Oh, that was in his filing, right?
Yeah, in Omar's.
Yeah.
Instead, he attempts to downplay the issue, suggesting Gingras' theory Mr. Serrato filed the motion to disqualify to create new YouTube content is unsupported and unreasonable. Yeah. Serrato
Yeah.
filed one motion on a serious issue and has not created any content related to Owens or Gingras since entering this case in August 2025. This argument misses the point. Regardless of whether Mr. Serrato has paused his YouTube career, his longtime collaborator, and we've only talked about Blake since this case started. He and I have only talked about Blake and Justin's case. It's a very easy thing to prove. Miss Neidigh has not. No, Miss Neidigh has not ceased to exercise her constitutional right to free speech on this case. This matter of public interest. Go fuck yourself. Like, instead, she continues creating new content. Call the police, David. You might have to call 3 or 4 police departments again, but do it. Creating new content about this case virtually every single day. That is absolutely not true. I focus mostly on Justin and Blake. I did not really start talking about this again until he started posting on his blog and saying all kinds of bullshit and helping Laura in this, renewal of a fraudulent DVRO against Mike. So no, I didn't just start doing that and do it every day for fun. In fact, if he's not doing anything like this on that day, I'm not paying attention to him. He matters none to me. If he's not out here accusing me of being a key cult leader, I don't give a shit.
It's just lazy and avoidant language when he says virtually every single day. Well, okay, so the virtually part implies that it's not actually every single day, but then there's nothing quantitative to explain how much content there is. And even if there was, it's irrelevant. So he's, again, couching his language qualitatively.
Yeah.
He's using these adverbs to sort of give himself an escape route to, advance his rhetoric in a way that's not obviously false, but it's beside the point.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, because Miss Neidigh keeps posting the same disparaging content Mr. Serrato previously did. And let's be very clear about that. When David Gingras writes disparaging things about Clayton or Greg Woodnick or Omar Serrato in any of his filings, I cover that too. I read that too.
Or Judge Mata.
I don't shy from that. So that's absolute bullshit. It's like if he actually decided to bring me to court for any of these issues, I would easily wipe the fucking floor with him by myself. I'm not worried about it. So, whatever, man. They intend to use this case as a platform for generating and publishing false and defamatory statements and pleadings, which are privileged and protected. What privileged and protected statements have I released? What are you talking about? If so, it's because you covered them on your YouTube channel, David.
Is he saying the pleadings are privileged and protected?
I don't know. That's idiotic, though. So, Miss Neidigh can then profit by republishing those lies on her YouTube channel. Again, this is not my day job. Buddy, I don't know what you want me to say. I have a whole job in healthcare still, and a family and things that I like to do with my free time. So I'm just not that bothered as he is. I know that he feels so strongly about me that he felt a need to use our country's court systems to punish me for my free speech. But David, it's not that deep to me, man. I'll sit here and I'll talk my shit because I can. It's fun. Because I feel like it's doing justice to the people you've hurt and your client have hurt, but it's not that deep to me, and I don't make that much money from it, so I don't know what this guy's problem is that he thinks he's important enough for me to make my main source of income off of him. It's actually very stupid. I'm just not that into you. You're just not that important, So, all right. While that claim might sound paranoid, you should have stopped there, buddy. In any other context, the court must understand Miss Neidigh has demonstrated a willingness to do absolutely anything, legal or illegal, to attack, defame, and harass both Miss Owens and the undersigned. I have never spoken to Laura Owens. Even when I filmed her trial in Arizona, I did not speak to her. I did not even make direct eye contact with her. Didn't say a single damn thing to her. So I have never harassed Miss Owens or David Gingras. In fact, I blocked David Gingras a long time ago, and he continued to tweet out my picture and his phone number. And when I made it clear I didn't want to communicate with him, he found me in Dave Neal's YouTube comment section and tried to talk to me there. So he continued to harass me when I asked him not to. David has a right to, if he posted this as a Twitter post, talk his shit about me the way I do about him. He does not have a right to abuse his law license, to do this in a court of law, and to put this into the public record via the court. words. He does not have a right to make up false allegations in a legal document and with a related party to the case, and then file it with the public court. That's not a thing, So if anybody is harassing or defaming, it's David Gingras. It's not me. Full stop.
The problem I have with this sentence, to get pedantic, it's a non-falsifiable claim. How do we prove that you have a willingness to do absolutely anything? We can't test that. There's no way to test that Lauren would do anything. That's like an infinite number of options. There's not enough time in the universe to test to prove the negative. So this is a goofy statement because this is more rhetoric. It's not provable. It's not falsifiable. I can't do anything with it. Don't talk about what she would do speculatively. Just talk about what you think people have done. Like, just present the facts.
Yeah.
This is written. It's almost like a stream of consciousness of anger that he's spitting out onto the page.
Yeah.
It's like a cookie full of arsenic, and I'd hate to take a bite.
Yeah. She is engaged in such conduct nearly every day for almost 2 years. Buddy, if you actually work that into the average in 2 years, I guarantee you I have not talked about this every day for almost 2 years. I've been way more invested in a different case that has nothing to do with you. In fact, you included a screenshot of me and Omar talking about it above, which again had nothing to do with you. Nick Starro, thank you for the it's Swedish money 50. If this cultivar now goes by hair length, I am way ahead.
I know.
Nick, if you want to pop in with us,
win the award for longest cult hair.
If you want to pop in with us, let me know. I'll send you a link on Twitter. Okay, let's see. Again, examples are too numerous to include them all.
Oh no!
Just consider this. Miss Neidigh recently created a social media profile. There is your first lie, because this is the same profile I've had for years. I didn't know how to use Discord until last year, but this is the same profile I've had for years.
Using the Discord account.
Exactly. Using
that you already had.
David Gingras, accompanied by a photo of undersigned counsel's face photoshopped onto Miss Owens' body. Again, if you bring this before a court of law, what am I going to say about that? Bruce, what would you think I would say in response to that I used his face on Owens' body?
Poop?
Yeah, but next. You don't know. Okay, well, so the reason that I did that...
No, I know. You can explain it, though.
And I can prove it. Is that I did that in response to him copyright striking YouTubers who used a regular picture of him, and Laura Owens trying to copyright strike me and others who used a regular picture of her. We had to get creative. I was a little pissed off by that because I thought it was unnecessary. And so, yes, I decided to morph them together for creative fair use in my thumbnails. And I did use one of them on my Discord account.
Satire.
Get the fuck over it. If you wanted me to use a regular, normal picture, then you shouldn't have done that. Okay? As far as the Discord goes, if you wanted me to not make fun of you like that, the way that you're showing right now, you shouldn't have stalked and, obsessively followed the conversations of people who want nothing to do with you. The whole point, he's playing right into my hand here because I'm trying to show I'm not actually going out of my way to communicate with or harass these people. They absolutely will not stay away from me, is the problem. David Gingras will not stay away from me. He has proven it time and time again with his Twitter profile, with Dave Neal's YouTube comments after I asked him not to communicate with me, and now with him stalking everything I'm saying in Dave's Discord. That is not my problem. I have a right to speak to people, privately or semi-privately and say what I feel. And it's not my problem if he doesn't like that or hurts his feelings. It is not my problem. And it has nothing to do with Omar Serrato, who I noticed he didn't mention as far as the Discord goes, because Omar doesn't talk in Discord. So why the fuck are you including this in your court filing? This is an abuse of power, and I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, it's just a per channel nickname. It's not even the account name.
Using that account, she spends hours each day posting comments in the name of David Gingras, including his fine work of poetry. That's where it says David's brain is smoother than a porn star's butthole. Thank you, David, for announcing that to everyone. I stand by that belief. But also, it doesn't take that long to type out David's brain is smoother than a porn star's butthole. So no, I actually don't spend hours each day posting comments in the name of David Gingras. It actually took a couple seconds, but
Yeah, how does he get
good
to
job.
hours each day? Does he have an Excel spreadsheet where he's enumerated the time you spent typing? How would
I
he
don't
know how
fucking know,
much
dude,
time
but
you
it took me
spend
like 2
typing?
seconds to type that. So
Well, even if you were, typing a key at a time, like what is he doing? He's got a stopwatch or something? Like how this is again, he doesn't seem to understand that when you put a sentence in one of these filings, you need to put a sentence that you can actually prove, like a scientist. If you say Lauren spends hours each day doing XYZ, like you need the Excel spreadsheet of somebody accounting for Lauren's time
yeah.
doing whatever it is you're talking about. And then here's the spread and do the math. I want to see the math. I want to see the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And he just won't
Whew.
do it. He just makes a claim with no evidence, with no
And
math,
as
with
an
no
attorney,
science.
as a barred attorney in the state of California, you are held to a higher standard than that. What are you doing, man? Come on. And he's already about to be sanctioned in Florida for that kind of shit. He randomly accused people of hacking his website with no evidence. My God, dude.
Hacking. Well, it was probably Greg.
Yeah. I don't know. The only
Master
thing that,
hacker.
again, like I said before, the only thing that bothers me is his recent escalation and the fact that he's posting videos with bullets on his desk. He's waved a gun on his YouTube before. He's had a gun in his YouTube multiple times. And I'm a little bit afraid, given his recent behavior and his now fixation towards me. So I like texted Clayton
It's
and was
very
like,
disturbing. It's very disturbing.
No, I texted Clayton and I talked to him earlier tonight and was like, listen, dude, I'm going to stick with you because I'm not trying to be alone around this man. So it's freaking me out. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is Mr. Serrato liable for the criminal conduct of his friend this night? He thinks that's criminal conduct.
It's a footnote.
Like that's criminal fucking conduct. The footnote says, oh my God.
Talking about porn star buttholes?
The footnote says it is both a tort and a crime in the state of California for any person to knowingly and without consent credibly the operative word there, buddy. Because I told everyone it was me. Credibly impersonate another actual person through or on an internet website.
Here's why it's not credible, because I think the very first time I ever saw you comment something goofy with that username, I'm like, what is it? Why is this? Is this actually him? So I go and right click on it, and you don't even have to go anywhere. You just right click, and then it's got your username in it. And it's like, oh, okay. Because sometimes there are people that will use the nickname to, argue with other people in Discord, and we have to give them a timeout or something, because they're sort of arguing with each other, and we give them a little timeout or whatever. And so very often you look at the nickname versus the actual username to figure out who's doing what, because people change those nicknames so often that it's just the nicknames are not a credible way to figure out who's who.
Yeah.
Okay.
My God. His whole thing is just so fucking stupid. All right. But when two parties conspire to engage in unlawful conduct, well, I'm not a party to this case, am I, buddy? First of all.
That's true.
Second, I did not conspire to engage with this man. I said this to people earlier, but I have to kind of go through the unfortunate feeling of being disconnected from one of my close friends in Omar because he's doing this case and we can't talk about it together now because he respects the law and his role as a lawyer. So he can't talk to me about this case. And I also have to go through like the unfortunate experience of being accused of being a conspirator with Omar. So it's kind of a tricky situation to be in for me. But like he says, when two parties conspire to engage in unlawful conduct, both may be held liable for the other's legal acts. Where is your proof that Omar conspired with me to make my username David Gingras? Because I guarantee you I'm just that immature when I'm trying to be funny. Like, it's not that deep. Jesus.
Gosh.
Right. The truth is this. There is no question Mr. Serrato filed a groundless pleading. There's questions there, bud. I don't know what you're talking about, which contains knowingly false and disparaging statements.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
a point of
question.
contention. That's a point of contention.
Right, yeah. There's no question he did so for no valid reason because he knew the attorney-client relationship was voluntarily terminated before the motion was filed. Bud, you fucked up, okay, recently, and it's gonna hurt you. Within days, and he admitted it on his YouTube channel, like I just said. So it's a tricky situation to get out of. Good luck with that. Within days, that frivolous pleading, the motion to disqualify, which he doesn't get to unilaterally decide it was frivolous, okay, was turned into a lengthy YouTube video by Mr. Serrato's close friend and co-conspirator, Miss Neidigh. Given the history of extreme hostility shown by Mr. Serrato and Miss Neidigh towards Miss Owens and her counsel, it is only reasonable to conclude, Mr. Serrato and Miss Neidigh, it is only reasonable to conclude that Mr. Serrato and Miss Neidigh intentionally conspired to abuse this court's process.
That's how this guy does it. He said, somebody came to the June 10th Owens v. Eckert paternity case hearing, and they said they were the judge's dad because they wanted to watch the case. Yep. Therefore, there must be a grand conspiracy. What other explanation could there possibly be? That's what this guy does. He finds the most bizarre explanation for things, and then couches them in a way that suits his filing, and then he presents it as the only possible reasonable option. And that's not rational.
No, and as a lawyer, you're not supposed to do that. So
that's no, that's just rhetoric. And it's manipulative rhetoric. It's not mere rhetoric.
No, it's also unhinged as hell, which is why I think there's a substance abuse issue going on here. That's why I feel like I'm looking at this behavior and his filings, and I'm looking at how he's talking, and I think that he's on drugs. I'm sorry. I know that he's threatening me with that. He's threatening to sue me for that. Go ahead, David. I mean, that's my protected free speech. I'm not saying that you are on drugs and the fact that like you tested positive or you've been arrested for it or anything like that. I'm saying your behavior is consistent with others that I have worked with as patients who were on drugs. I'm not going to stop saying that just because you threatened me. So go fuck yourself. All right.
I mean, what's the alternative to that behavior? Like, what would it imply as some kind of mental illness or something? I mean,
this is mind-boggling.
Like, here's my sometimes people come into the Discord and blow off steam after they've had some, they went to wine club or whatever.
Yeah.
Not going to name names, but sometimes people do that, and you can ask, if you had some drinks or something. Like, it's better to know that it's somebody who's just like had a few too many and they're blowing off steam than somebody who's there to like troll or spam or something. Because those people you actually want to ban. Like, you want to ban the trolls. But if somebody's just blowing off steam, you don't want to ban them. So it's actually better compared to the alternatives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I was answering an email from Dave.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy is right. Okay. Let's see. We got that here. Only reasonable to conclude Mr. Serrato and Miss Neidigh intentionally conspired to abuse this court's process by filing a groundless pleading, says the man who tried to intervene when he could have just gone away, for the sole purpose of harassment by republishing it on YouTube. Again, I read all of the documents on YouTube, especially, the ones that come from Laura's side, from David. So it's not that I only, publish Omar's filings or something like that. This has been something that I've been doing since before Omar was even a person covering this case with the civil case between Clayton and Laura. So it's easily disproven. You're going to embarrass yourself if you try to hurt me with that. It'll be stressful for me for a while, and it will be unfortunate for me to go through that. But if he decides to drag me through court for this, I will absolutely wipe the floor with this guy. So the only question is whether this court believes this conduct is acceptable. What? A random member of the public who's not related to the case exercising their constitutional rights of free speech? Okay. One party, a lawyer, files a groundless pleading containing false statements. His co-conspirator immediately converts the lie-filled pleading into a YouTube video. Nobody has determined any of that was a lie, by the way.
So weird.
That's just your word we're supposed to take, which is big leap.
I mean,
Uh,
he's spun a story here, but he hasn't
yeah,
written what you would need to write with evidence to convince
yeah,
generic people, average people, that his argument is correct. It's just like the
yeah,
Judge Mata's father thing.
yeah,
Like you have to actually have some good evidence, right? It didn't convince Rachel Juarez.
yeah.
It didn't convince the court of public opinion.
Right.
He needs to do better to write convincing arguments if he's going to make these kind of conclusionary statements.
Yeah. On the other hand, if this court believes lawyers owe a duty to honor the law and the rules of professional conduct, it should send a clear message to Mr. Serrato. Practicing law is not the same as making YouTube videos insulting other people. Homie, you just
Oh,
spelled it
geez.
out. Like, what? What? What point did you think you were making? YouTube may ignore its own terms of service.
Isn't he the one who just made a video insulting a bunch of people?
Yeah, and threatening me after he just posted a video with bullets. But this court is
Yeah, I
not
mean,
YouTube, and these proceedings will not be turned into a lawless social media war zone. Buddy, you're joking, right? Like, oh my God, he's tried to turn this into a social media battle. And he's like, these proceedings will not be turned into a... No.
this is the guy who explicitly came onto the Owens v. Eckerd paternity case and said he was going to be Miss Owens' counsel and do PR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what kind of double standard is this?
Yeah.
I can't
Dude,
believe it.
This is ridiculous. I have the hiccups. Oh no.
Yeah.
Bruce, help.
Think about watermelons.
No, I need you to do more than that. Can you just read?
What? Oh, okay. Part two.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to hold my breath until I don't have the hiccups
You
anymore.
don't need any
Oh,
medical help. Okay. Part 2, discussion. Oh, let me make this a little bigger here. Discussion. The pleadings speak for themselves. As such, only a few points will be mentioned. Oh, brevity is appreciated. A, intervention. Mr. Serrato argues this court cannot grant leave for the undersigned to intervene. In reply, the undersigned reminds this court Mr. Serrato filed a motion seeking to disqualify undersigned counsel. That motion was based on a lie. Well, that's your opinion. You have to prove it, i.e., that the undersigned counsel still currently represented Ms. Owens in the case. No, he's saying if you ever wanted to represent her again in the future without some sort of contractual obligation not to, then we need a motion to disqualify. It's very simple. You guys are talking past each other. Okay. If that lie was true, there would be no need to intervene. Sanctions could and would have been requested as Ms. Owens' current counsel. But Mr. Serrato's representation to this court was false. He knew the attorney-client relationship ended before his motion was filed. Irrelevant. He also knew that the undersigned had never filed a notice of appearance in this case and was not, well, my understanding is that the notice of appearance was filed, but it was not accepted onto the docket. I think those are two, we need to be very precise here if we want to be science enthusiasts, okay? Anyway, so let's get that cleaned up. That specific issue was discussed at length during the 66-minute phone conversation between counsel, which took place on August 18th, 2025. Oh boy, now we're getting quantitative. 5 days before the disqualification motion was filed. Okay, yeah, because I think the litigants discussed and agreed that they needed to file a motion or a motion seeking to disqualify after the phone call. It's very straightforward, regardless of litigant status. Given these facts, it ultimately does not matter whether this court allows the undersigned to intervene for the limited purpose of seeking sanctions or whether the motion is treated as filed by the undersigned as Ms. Owens' current counsel. Despite this not actually being true, either way, when a lawyer lies and files a groundless pleading, as Mr. Serrato did here, okay, he's not lying just because you don't understand him. That's not a lie. That's a misunderstanding. And files a groundless pleading. That's a point of contention. You can't just assert it's groundless. You have to argue and convince people or the judge that it's groundless. You can't just claim it and it magically becomes true. Okay, anyway, the court has the power and the duty to impose sanctions. The exact procedural method of how that issue is raised is largely irrelevant. Okay. Part B, Mr. Serrato violated
Still working on it, bro.
128.5. Think of watermelons, Lauren. Just the seeds, the watermelon seeds. Maybe that's for
just
sneezing.
the seed. What?
Maybe that's for sneezing. Okay, anyway, Mr. Serrato moved to disqualify a lawyer despite knowing that lawyer had already disqualified himself. Well, you didn't file a motion to disqualify yourself, did you, sir? No, you didn't. Okay, Mr. Serrato knew this because he was told so in writing. Okay, but it wasn't filed with the court. It wasn't some binding contract, okay, before the current motion was filed. So this is irrelevant. That fact is undisputed, or at least it should be. Okay, but the context matters and the details beyond that matter. Oh my gosh. Trying to distract from his misconduct. Oh, jeez. Mr. Serrato only makes matters worse by presenting more lies, all caps. Does all caps make it more true? I don't know. I don't think
yes,
so.
Louder is better. Always.
Specifically on page 4, paragraph 10 of the opposition to the motion for sanctions, Mr. Serrato states, 10. Based on that phone discussion, I filed a motion to disqualify due to an obvious Rule 1.7 conflict affecting these proceedings. Very good. I prepared the motion and told Gingras I would e-serve the documents. Very good. Gingras then said he would not continue representing Owens and sent written confirmation. Emphasis added. This statement is another blatant lie from Mr. Serrato as written. This statement makes it sound like events occurred in this sequence. Okay, we're writing out a sequence with bullets. I like it. Mr. Serrato filed a motion to disqualify due to an obvious Rule 1.7 conflict. Counsel then had a phone conversation about the issue. Only after the motion was filed, Gingras then said he would not continue representing Owens and sent written confirmation. Okay. Okay. And these are the only kind. Okay, we'll go back to the list. Lauren, are you alive? What's going on?
I'm ready to. Oh my god!
Oh jeez!
I'm ready. I'm just trying to get rid of the hiccups, man. I swear.
You're gonna have to. You need a jump scare. That's what you need. We need to watch the Love Love video again. Okay. Let's see. So we've got the sequence here, and my point is, Gingras, these are the only bullets you should be using. Is bullets in Microsoft Word. Okay, that's it. No other bullets, just the bullets in this list. That's all you are allowed to use. Keep it clean. Okay, this is 100% false. It is not what occurred. Here are the actual events. Oh, and then he makes a numbered list. Oh no, style problems. We went from bullets to numbers. This is, oh no, chaos, guys. Chaos killed the dinosaurs. Okay, number 1, a Zoom hearing was held in this case on August 15th, 2025. On August 18th, counsel spoke by phone for 66 minutes. Oh boy, that guy sure can talk on the phone. During that call, Mr. Serrato urged the undersigned to discontinue representing Ms. Owens. Okay, very good. Number 3, on August 21st, counsel again spoke by phone for 16 minutes. During that call, Mr. Serrato was told undersigned counsel no longer represented Ms. Owens and he would not represent her at trial. Okay, but you could always change your mind. You're just having a phone call. You know,
well,
if
like
Imelda
he just said in his
Marcos
video today,
can change her shoes by going into the closet and pulling out another pair of shoes, then you can change your mind about representing your client. Anyway, on August 21st, Mr. Serrato asked the undersigned to confirm in writing that he no longer represented Ms. Owens. Okay. Number 5, on August 22nd, the undersigned replied via email and stated, as we discussed on the phone yesterday, I no longer represent Laura in the Maricini DVRO matter. Of course, that does not imply anything about the future, and it is not a contract. Okay. Or a court filing. Okay. Number 6, on August 25th, 2025, despite knowing the attorney-client relationship was voluntarily terminated 3 days earlier, Mr. Serrato moved to disqualify. That's fine. Okay. If, there was some reason that the judge didn't need a motion to disqualify, they could have just said, okay, we're just going to, thanks for your motion to disqualify. We're just going to deny it because it's irrelevant. You could have just ignored this whole motion to disqualify. Oh my gosh. If these facts do not justify sanctions, oh boy. CCP 128.5 has lost all meaning. Oh boy. We're back to Rule 26 and Rule 14 losing all meaning. Oh no. Indeed, keep in mind, if Mr. Serrato had not moved to disqualify, the outcome would be the same. The undersigned would still not represent Miss Owens. I mean, you can't speculate about how things would have gone under different situations. We can't run two universes in parallel and collect data from each one. We can only collect data from the universe in which we appear to exist. So this is just bad argument here. Let's see. And would not appear at trial as for her advocate, or so you say. Further, if Mr. Serrato had not moved to disqualify, the current request for sanctions would not have been made, nor would Mr. Serrato have made his ex parte request to shorten time. All this time and effort was completely unnecessary. I think the only thing unnecessary here is listening to this Gingras guy's ramblings. But anyway, we're on to the next page. Lauren, are you okay yet?
I still have the hiccups, bro.
What do we do for these hiccups?
Let me try to read it because it's
Let's
really
get some
short.
Comments.
We got a short little
I
paragraph.
sprinkle salt on my palm and lick it. All right, do you have some salt, Lauren?
It's all downstairs. I'm just gonna hold it out. Okay.
We need a salt lick.
Let's see.
Immediately.
If Mr. Serrato had not moved to disqualify, only one thing would have happened. Miss Neidigh would be deprived of valuable content for her YouTube channel.
Well, that's not true. We can make videos about all kinds of things. We could do a whole video on how to cure hiccups. And it would
That's precisely why Mr. Serrato's motion was filed. Listen, if the court requires it, I will show them the monetization that I get from Laura Owens videos versus Blake Lively videos, which I could have been spending my time on.
Oh, yeah. It's probably night and day.
Not be a problem. God, these fucking hiccups. Go ahead, Bruce. I can't.
10 sips of water and then hold your breath as long as possible. Okay, what
sounds exhausting, but fine.
Now, did you sprinkle salt on your palm and lick it yet? You got to do that.
No, I'm not going back downstairs.
Ooh, do you have pickles? You got to eat pickles.
I hate pickles. No, I don't have pickles.
Maybe dill pickles. Do they have to be dill pickles?
I still hate dill pickles.
Drink opposite side of the cup upside down. That sounds like it violates the laws of physics. I don't think you can do that. Peanut butter stops hiccups. Do you have peanut butter? You could put the peanut butter on the pickle, and that's like a twofer. Or would they cancel each other out? Let's see where we are. We got to get back to this document, guys. But thanks for your suggestions. They all are good. Lauren's not doing any of them, even though I told her to, which proves I am not a cult leader, and she will not follow my cult instructions. Okay. What do we got? Here, the safe harbor does not apply because the harm caused by Mr. Serrato's misconduct cannot be outdone by allowing him to withdraw the offending pleading. Oh, no. Furthermore, the misconduct is not limited to just the pleading itself. Mr. Serrato lied to the court, and he did so knowing the false statements in his disqualification motion would be immediately republished on YouTube by his co-conspirator, Miss Neidigh, during her break from her using the undersigned's name to post comments about the texture of porn stars' buttholes. Is this filing for real? Is this where we are? The only thing I can say that's good about here's the only thing I can say that's good about this filing. You know, we saw the other one where it had the thumbnail from your video, and I was actually in that thumbnail, and now we have this one. The only good thing I can say is that the filing does not have both a picture of me and talk about porn star buttholes in the same document. That's the only good thing that I've seen so far in this document. Okay, the harm caused by...
Most people who are reading this are going to be laughing their ass off. And their ass won't be as smooth as David's brain.
Oh, jeez. The harm caused by that conduct has already occurred. How is... Oh, my God. Show me on the Gingras doll where the porn star's butthole hurt you, sir.
Okay, it hurt his fee-fees. My free speech hurt his fee-fees, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Okay, allowing Mr. Serrato to withdraw his motion would serve no purpose. Thus, the safe harbor does not apply, and this court can and should impose significant sanctions. Porn star butthole sanctions for Omar all day long. Let's go, Judge. Okay, we're on Section C. Scroll down, Lauren. This is unhinged.
I still have the fucking hiccups, man.
You haven't done anything the chat told you to do.
No,
Oh,
and I'm going to complain about it anyways.
uh-huh. Additional comments. Oh, additional comments, of course, because we can't just be done. A significant portion of Mr. Serrato's opposition, pages 16 through 21, is devoted to downplaying his threatening YouTube videos and suggesting they do not warrant referral to the state bar. Okay. Well, he's arguing, he's not suggesting. But anyway, as noted in the original motion, videos published by Mr. Serrato include fake images showing him physically assaulting undersigned counsel. That's not true. They're doing like WWE wrestling.
That's a sport. It's not a physical assault.
It's like John Cena. Yeah, it's not assault. It's
a
like
sport that he
Hulk
brought
Hogan.
up. That David brought up first.
That's true. It's Conor McGregor of YouTube thumbnail artwork. Other videos posted by Mr. Serrato feature fake images showing Ms. Owens being punched in the face and crying.
Oh, well, no. If she didn't, okay, again, if she didn't try to copyright strike everyone who used a normal photo of her, they wouldn't have to use the crying photo.
The crying video. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The performative crying video, in my opinion. Let's see. Mr. Serrato's response is, in effect, but these are just a joke, man. No big deal, right? Well, it's satire, of course. And it's, it's comedy. It's not I don't know. Is it a joke? He's a joke, honey. Okay. To be clear, the reason Mr. Serrato's videos warrant referral to the state bar is not underlined because he, underlined italic, perceives them as a joke. This is a lot. Control I, Control U. Okay, anyway, the reason is also not italics. Why? One word is underlined, one word is underlined italic, and one word is italic. This is no. No. The reason is also not because they were interpreted as an actual serious threat by Ms. Owens or the undersigned. They were not. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks for that's heads up. The reasons these videos warrant discipline is because this is a domestic violence case in which one of the parties...
You were never domestically abused. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, boy. In which one of the parties, Mr. Miracini, is being supported by an online cult. Oh, underline. And again, there's no cult. There's no organization. There's no organization consistent with the BITE model of authoritarian control. He's just got the word. He's got the terminology all wrong. It's just wrong. It's substantively wrong. It's not even a matter of semantics. It's substantively wrong. Okay, Mr. Serrato may think violent images are merely a joke to him, but that's not the point. The point is thousands of people are following this case. Okay, where are the thousands of people?
Joke,
where are the thousands of... Here's the problem. This is just like, remember in the police body cam video when Laura was screaming at the police because to get the dad into a different chair and the dad couldn't walk and the dad couldn't get there. And, the dad can speak for himself. If he wants to sit in the chair, he can come to the living room. If the dad needs help, he can ask for help. If the dad wants to sit in a certain chair, he can ask to sit in a certain chair. Where are the thousands of people that are complaining about Omar's thumbnail? Now, what's he saying here? The point is thousands of people are following this case, including countless anonymous, faceless members, thousands, I mean, maybe, of the JFC cult. Here's the thing, dude. If it's thousands and thousands of people, it's not a cult. It's just the regular public. It's just normal people, dude. Like,
you can't fathom that.
Like if the common denominator, sir, is you, it's not that everybody else on the planet is a cult. The problem is you, sir. Many of these members have displayed clear signs of significant mental illness. Oh no, is he he's giving people mental health diagnostics now. Where does he get the I mean, is this just his opinion as a layperson?
I guess. I mean, he has a screenshot there. We haven't gotten there yet from Donald Trump Jr. I'm like, that has nothing to do with anyone here. None of us have any affiliation or have even expressed support for Donald Trump Jr. So what the fuck are you doing?
Where does he talk about that? Oh no. Is there
right?
Oh no, he gets into politics. In this context, the concern is not that Mr. Serrato thinks violent images are just a joke. The concern is that some unknown member of the JFC cult could easily misconstrue these jokes as encouragement to engage in actual violence towards
no one has ever threatened that. There's no proof
Yeah.
of anyone ever actually threatening that. That's a bunch of fucking bullshit. We've explicitly said we want her to get help. We want her to go to jail and get the rehabilitation that she needs. We don't want her to die. We don't want her to be hurt. We don't want anyone to harass or threaten her. So the fact that he's trying to represent this as some sort of encouragement to violence is absolutely fucking insane.
Or even like, email contact or something like that, or comments on a Medium post, right? Like nobody should be doing that, let alone anything criminal activity. Given the current political and social climate in this country, oh geez. I mean, you can't just take an anecdote and just start blanket applying it to your case. Like this doesn't make any sense. This is entirely unacceptable. Political commentator Charlie. So given the political and social climate in this country, is it okay to make a YouTube video going through a bunch of bullets while talking about, how much Lauren Neidigh better watch what she's doing? I mean, great.
Yeah, and also like posting on Blue Sky with bullets on his desk and saying we're going to have a problem if I don't stop saying certain things, which are my constitutional right to express.
Yeah. Oh my
Do you really want to go there, David?
Political commentator was recently shot in front of a crowd of students in Utah, likely in response to his divisive online rhetoric. Again, more speculation.
This has nothing to do with this case whatsoever.
Paul Pelosi, husband of former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, was recently attacked. And how did the son of the President of the United States respond? By laughing about it in a social media post. What does that have to do with this case?
Well, I would just like to point out also that I very, very rarely talk about politics publicly. I mostly speak about that in private to people that I trust, that I love, who I know we can have differences and have nuanced discussions. But Omar and I did do a stream after Charlie Kirk died, and we both vehemently, condemned the shooting of Charlie Kirk. So the fact that he's putting this in here is absolutely fucking stupid. Again, if he ever tried to take either one of us to court for this, he would get absolutely destroyed.
Oh my gosh. In 2010, former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, posted an image showing several battleground states she hoped Republicans would win. The image showed crosshairs, like a rifle scope. You mean like a rifle that was in the background of one of your videos where you said, "Hey, Omar, man, you're dead to me." That kind of rifle? Yep. Okay, including Tucson, Arizona. Just weeks later, mentally ill man appeared in Tucson. Okay, we got all that with Representative Giffords.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've never even heard of that, but this appeared to have happened in 2011 when I graduated high school.
That was a big deal. Yeah, we must do more.
I'm saying I was 17 when that happened.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I don't. We must do more to stop political, social, and legal dispute. What is this virtue signaling that he's doing here? This has
neither one of us has done anything to encourage or turn violence towards these people. That is absolutely fucking nuts.
What one person sees as a harmless joke may easily be mistaken for encouragement. Yeah, the cessation of like stand-up comics. Those are the guys who always get silenced first, right? When the government wants to crack down on speech. Free speech, right?
This is really problematic. I cannot believe that somebody is using my name and image in a document like this to try to suggest that I have anything to do with political violence, because my name is again mentioned down here when talking about these kinds of people who commit violence, and I cannot believe an actual licensed attorney filed this in court.
For a lawyer like Mr. Otto to fan the flames of a rabid, vicious cult. Rabid.
No one in this supposed cult, which is not a cult, by the way, has ever hurt anyone. Yeah. Ever. That has never happened.
We're not rabid. Where's the hydrophobia? I'm drinking water right now. Anyway, fake photos, Miss Owens being punched in the face of like a boxing match. Okay. MMA. Ms. Owens has come to the court seeking help and protection from a man who she claims has harmed her. Okay.
Ms. Her claims don't mean much.
Should not also have to worry that counsel for the respondent is actively encouraging people to punch her in the face or worse. Mr. Strato thinks asking a litigation opponent if they want smoke. He never said gun. by the way, so that's a
No, and he knows
mischaracterization.
that. Because if you
It's
go to
a
dictionary.com, it tells you
yeah.
exactly what it means these days. And it
Isn't
means
it?
something
Yeah.
like friendly, disputes, debates, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we're not out here making butter with butter churns. We go to the grocery store to buy butter.
Jim.
Language is descriptive, not prescriptive. Okay. Anyway, and Omar never said the G word when he was talking about smoke. It was more
Nope.
about the MMA or the boxing or the rap battle. Is not a literal promise of bodily harm. It's just a joke, not a true threat. No big deal. Maybe to him it's not, but what about the angry, mentally disturbed person sitting in their basement following? Who is this speculative boogeyman that he's constructed, following every minute of YouTube coverage posted by Mr. Strato and Miss Neidigh? What might that person think? What might they do? Well,
Honestly, fuck you for that. If you're taking the time out of your day to try to use your law license to frame on the public court record that somebody who has never committed a crime so much as like having a serious traffic accident is now threatening people with gun violence after they've never said anything other than, I don't want her to die. I don't want her to suffer. I want her to get help and face the consequences she deserves, but to get help and to go to jail. That is fucked up, dude. That is fucked up. And like I'll be honest about this. I said before, after I, saw comments about David saying he would read our obituaries, me, Dave Neal, Megan Fox, etc., read our obituaries and with pleasure and then throw it in the trash. I said I wouldn't care if David died. I didn't say I'm going to kill him. I didn't say I'm going to hurt him. I don't want anyone to hurt him, I just said I would not give a shit if he died. So
isn't he making the same sort of joke speech by talking about throwing obituaries in the trash of
he
people
absolutely
he doesn't
started
like?
it. I did
It's
not.
the same thing.
I did not just go there. I was like, I wanted to like the guy. I wanted to engage with him respectfully. We had one conversation, exactly one conversation, in the
It's
very
actually
beginning of his
worse.
representation, to where I talked to him and I said, "Hey, you've been saying that Laura's being stalked and harassed, and I noticed that you put Laura's public address, phone number, whatever, in a court filing that you just posted on Twitter. You might want to redact that." He said, "No, she knows about it and it's fine." That was the extent of our interaction. That's not word for word, but that was the
Yeah.
extent of our interaction. Shortly after that, I blocked him because I was disgusted by the way that he posted Mike's deposition, the photos of him and Laura, a recording of him and Laura. I was like, this is beyond being a lawyer. This is not normal or okay. And I think that he was emotionally abused by her. I disagree with it. I don't want to see his posts anymore. So I blocked him. He started to, continue to try to engage with me, tweeting out my photo and then tweeting complaints about how I blocked him so he couldn't DM me, but tweeting out his number saying, call me and shit like that. Laura wants me to contact you. Laura wants me to, I have Laura's permission to talk to you. I still didn't want to do it. I made that pretty clear. And then he sought me out in other places after that and tried to talk to me. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want contact with you. I said that, so dude, it's just, this whole thing is nuts. Like, I leave the guy alone. I say things about him that he doesn't like, but he doesn't have to watch. I say things about him in Discord that he doesn't have to read. But my point is, and he kind of plays into my hand here, is you are seeking out the negative attention of people who want nothing to do with you, and you won't leave them alone.
Well, he's parlaying it into his filings here because he doesn't have a more logical, reasoned legal argument to make. So he's making these emotional arguments, even if they are obviously a double standard, even if he's done worse himself, that's irrelevant because he doesn't mention it himself in his filings. He's just making his own argument with its limited scope, right? So he's following this sort of lawyer playbook. He's just using plays that they're not good plays. He's got a bad playbook here. And it's really disturbing. Okay, where were we? You want me to keep reading this or?
Yeah, I think Mr. Serrato thinks asking litigation opponent. I think you got there.
Yeah, that we did that paragraph.
You go ahead from there.
So we're at as noted, I think.
Yeah.
As noted in the initial motion to intervene, a lawyer in Florida was recently disbarred for similar conduct. See Florida Bar versus Lee. Okay. Are Mr. Serrato's images of Ms. Owens being punched in the face funny? Punched in face. Okay, typo. just a joke, or do they justify removing him from the legal profession? Well, I think his comments and videos are way worse than like a boxing cartoon. So, I mean, gee whiz. Now, Gingras, of course, is the guy with the 11 bar complaints. And Omar, I don't know, 0, maybe. Anyway, that decision should be made by the State Bar of California, and if necessary, the California Supreme Court. He loves his Supreme Courts, doesn't he? This court should ask them to make that call, underlined, urgently, italics, before somebody else dies. Now, that's like
ridiculous,
really inflammatory rhetoric. Like, that's just...
It is. And I think that, like Blake, David is abusing litigation privilege here. But if the court doesn't accept these findings, then there's nothing except an inflammatory thing that he published on his blog.
Yeah.
So
fair.
Good luck with that, David. Fair. That is actually defamatory. All of this is defamatory. It's just people are protected by what they put in court filings. But if that doesn't actually make it to the court, if it's just something he published on his website, I don't know if that makes a difference. But if it does, I'm going to jump on that. So,
I don't know. Number 3, conclusion. For the reasons stated above, the motion for leave to intervene and other relief should be granted October 7, 2025. Okay. And that was the reply in support of David Gingras' motion to intervene for sanctions, etc. Oh my gosh, guys. I think this is just this sort of... I don't know, courtroom brawl has just escalated and escalated. And I would really like, you know, people were telling me this guy's got bullets in his video that he posted, or he's got bullets on his desk at Blue Sky Photos or something. I mean, we really need to tamp down the temperature on this thing, I think, guys. This is, both sides here.
The thing is, with tamping down the temperature on both sides here, for me, that means I wouldn't talk about this, and I can stop insulting him, and I can stop, using funny or like creative language to insult him. But like the thing is, the problem that he's having here, other than the one joke he pointed out, is that I am against him. Basically, the problem is that I have a dissenting opinion. An opinion of him that is not favorable, and he's trying to attack my free speech, my right to say what I want to say about him in these public court filings, my reactions to them, despite having never spoken to Omar about them, and despite having covered David's filings with just as much time and attention. He wants to kind of scare me out of speaking freely, scare me out of covering this, and I'm not okay with that. So, and I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen.
I agree. I think just cooling the temperature as much as we can. And we do, Steve, with 2 E's and a V, is in chat.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can get him on for a couple minutes, and I gotta go to bed. Hang on, give me 1 minute. Steve, I'll email you real quick. Okay.
What is he even asking for? So he wants Omar's motion to disqualify kicked out. He wants the judge to issue sanctions against Omar. He wants Omar referred to the bar. These are the things he wants, all because he didn't, apparently he didn't like the timing. His big legal argument is about the timing of these events, which I don't think holds much water. But the rest of it's all an emotional response, right?
Steve, check your email real quick, man.
Again, I think Patrick was saying this the other night. Emotional responses, if that's the bulk of your argument here, judges aren't going to probably won't do much with that. It's not going to go very far. We'll see, but I don't think this is going anywhere. It's just, I think it's more for the PR aspect of...
This is the worst PR I've ever seen.
This guy, he didn't like it when Omar, made his own analysis and predictions about the Owens v. Eckerd paternity case, and was basically correct in many ways about that case. Yeah. He doesn't like getting shown up like that. So I think he's just insulted by the motion to disqualify, and he's just he's fighting back like some sort of caged animal.
Nick says, what part of this motion is in favor of him intervening? That's a great question. I don't think we saw anything.
I don't think he had any. I don't know. Maybe the virtue signaling aspect of it, I guess. I don't know. But why is it Gingras' job to talk about, societal issues with violence and bring it into this case to argue for sanctions against Omar? That makes no sense to me. It's not his
Jane
job.
says, oh, he was planning on coming back. Yeah, he was. He was totally planning on coming back. Jim says he wants Omar charged with a DUI and to only feel the comfort of an empty bottle of Jack when he wakes up. Good Lord.
Well, I think right now DSG is the only one who's been charged with a DUI. So
how many again? Not one, two.
Well, his second, I guess. Apparently.
Yeah, right.
Charge.
Read through these real quick. AKA the cat lady, thanks for being a member for 10 months. You have our support 100%. Whatever you need, just ask. We're here for you like good little cult followers. Thank you very much. Please do whatever you want. I'm not a cult leader. Zoot of Anthrax, thank you for the $2. Jingy just wants to stone Rachel because she's a woman. Listen, David obviously doesn't seem very fond of Rachel. Rachel was, very respectful of him, I felt. Listened to him say whatever he had to say, and my goodness. I don't want to talk too much about Rachel because I don't want her to end up in his blog. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Lazy L, thank you for the $2. What is the point of this filing? I'm late. The point is, he mad. Okay.
And I think we covered that, right?
Yeah. Zoot of Anthrax, thank you for the 2. Arts and crafts is fine in court, not in Discord. AKA the cat lady, thank you for the 2. Seriously, though, maybe get a restraining order. Dude, I might have to think about that, honestly. Sarah L. 0143, thank you for the 5. How is it possible that DG still manages to stun me? What a tool. By the way, Bruce, you're looking sharp. LOL haircut. Did you get a haircut?
I did chop off some hairs the other day, and
nice, man.
I found these different readers.
Yeah.
I thought they matched my nice. I tried to wear the Omar style tie tonight.
Yeah. AKA the cat lady, thank you for the $5. This is the definition of the I am the main character subreddit. Okay.
Right?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey,
Bruce,
all
great
good.
to meet you.
Living the dream.
It's a late stream tonight. I'll probably be going to bed soon, but I saw you in the chat, so I wanted to pop you in for a minute.
Thank you. Bruce, big fan. I've been following you for a while. I've loved your coverage in the Tech Van when you were on with Dave Neal.
Oh, thanks so much. And thanks for everything you've been doing to help get some of these documents.
Dude, this guy was out here in like a full suit. It was so hot in Arizona. Bruce is out here in like a suit, like a jacket and everything. I was like, oh, what?
No big deal.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't believe you were on, Lauren, but I read the documents earlier tonight and texted you.
I had a little bit of a problem with that. We're not going to read the second document tonight because I'm too tired, but I read this one obviously with my picture and name in it a lot, and I was just like, are you insane? Like, you're associating me with gun violence? Like, it was bad enough the first time, but now he's like outright associating me with gun violence. He's like, what if Miss Neidigh and Mr. Serrato, what did they publish? And some crazy person in a basement sees it and thinks it's okay to shoot people. Like, what if some crazy person in a basement sees your shit and thinks it's okay to shoot everybody? Like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody's allowed to say their opinions. The fact that you would preemptively try to assign some sort of guilt to people who have done nothing violent and nothing wrong except express their opinions per their constitutional rights. Like, what is wrong with you? You're unhinged. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, I can't believe how he started out Emotion. And I didn't catch all the live, so I apologize, guys. I was putting my daughter down to sleep. And
no worries.
No, I didn't either. I got hiccups for like 30 minutes. Bruce was by himself.
But he started out Emotion talking about a JFC cult. And, I cannot wait. So quick background, I will be there on Thursday or Friday. I live in the Bay Area for people who don't know who I am. I will be there on Friday. I was there last week at the other court case, and I just cannot wait to hear what the judge has to say. I am really excited to see what happens on Friday.
Yeah, and as Steve said, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to join us shortly after that, so we'll get to talk to him afterwards. And we appreciate you for doing that. Steve is the one who got us all the documents, guys.
Amazing.
He goes out there and he gets them from the courthouse, and he has to pay for them. And then I have offered to help him pay for that, and he's like, "No, it's fine." So like, give Steve lots of love. I still think that I should pay you for this, but you know,
I'd rather the money go to Mike's legal fund.
Fair
So
enough.
I
Yeah.
prefer it go there. So I know what
all of
what
these
legal bills will be.
all of these streams from now until the trial are going to go to Mike's legal fund. The problem with YouTube is it doesn't pay you out until the next month, so that's the thing. But like, I'll try to match it, and then it'll work out. So yeah, everything, guys, if you super chat or anything like that, it's going to go to Mike's fund from now until October 21st. So yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, thanks for having me on. Go get some rest.
Oh, yeah.
And I will talk to you on Friday after the
Yeah,
court here.
absolutely. Thanks for popping in.
That'd be
Sorry
great.
it's so late. We can keep you for longer, but no, I do have to go to bed because I got to work in 7 hours or so. But yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, I'm Blue.
Yeah.
Thank you, cult leader Lauren. No problem, Nick.
And I would just say, thinking about the end here of Gingris's filing, whenever, guys, whenever somebody tries to sell you on something based on fear, oh, there's all this violence, there could be violence. Whenever somebody tries to sell you a bill of goods based on the fear argument, take an extra close look, because it's probably disingenuous. It's probably not legitimate. You have to pay real close attention to that kind of thing, because they may just be trying to take advantage of the emotional system, the limbic system, all that.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep an eye on that. And that's my parting advice, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I think people in the chat, Steve's name is spelled Steep. This is the only Steve I know who spells his name that way.
Cool.
So, yeah, I've seen like some Steves, like regular Steve spelling. Not Steve. It's not Steve.
If I don't want to bore your audience to death, but actually, I think when I was on with Dave Neal.
I remember that. That was a while ago. You were talking about your ADHD coaching and all that, right?
Yeah. So I was on with him talking about that, and then I also mentioned on that when I was on with his stream, my connection actually with just like peripheral connection with some of the stuff with the Owens case, which is kind of crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Which is Bruce, real quick for you, since you might not know this. In 2013, my then partner and I, we went through a miscarriage, and we happened to go through the exact same hospital that Miss Owens used in 2016. And which were the two doctors that we worked with? The two that were listed by
no
Ms.
fucking
Owens.
way. That's crazy.
Yeah. I almost drove off the road when I heard Dave and Megan Fox talking about that. But
that's so
yeah,
crazy.
that's the same. That's like, and that is kind of normal in the Bay Area. You run a lot. You run into the same people a lot and run across the same paths and things like that. So it does happen, but just the odds of that just was unbelievable.
But yeah, that's the problem with this case, is that kind of, when she comes up with these, allegedly fraudulent stories and everything, it's like stolen valor. It's got to like trigger, it makes you relive all these memories again. That's got to be, that's part of why a lot of people, I think, are so invested in the case, because they don't like seeing that happen to other people. And that's why they're following.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you later.
Thanks. Sorry it was so short. We were towards the end of the thing before I saw your username pop up. So, but yeah, I'll probably hit bed soon. So, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Really quick, Ronnie G, thank you for the $5. How long till we see a Britney Spears field video from me or from David? Because from me, probably sooner. P. Mahone, thank you for the 5. Get some rest. Try not to let the crackpots mess with your head. Hey. My only friends are crackpots. Don't take that as a judgment of Bruce.
Do it again.
All right, guys. I'm going to take off. Thanks. See you later.